basic pawn. I know it seems a little bit fussy, but ultimately, I don't like the idea that I don't know how to make a pawn move around. Even if we are going to do it by code, I feel we should know these basics.
Yeah, we know how to do it in code, but
yeah. But
so
I'm just going to be setting up these inputs quickly then.
okay.
Check this on the other screens. Easier. Welcome back, or welcome Vietlol, by the way. It's bad timing to arrive, but we're here now. It's all good. So we're going to add in a action mapping into here. The first one's going to be called jumping. This is going to be when you press space. And then we need to do our axes. We're going to have 2 of these. So the first one is going to be move forward.
Move right.
And you give it 2 within here. So you do 1 as the plus and 1 as the minus. So this will be our W. This will be our S. And then we
I hate this drop down.
Yeah. Sometimes you write exactly what you want it to find and it still goes to other things. The key ones.
Yeah, they don't have the keyboard keyword in the enums.
Yeah. So you just gotta to the point where I want to have them both the right way round, but I don't want to find S again, so I've done minus and 1 that way. That's fine. Okay, save. Set those.
You set up wrong keys for right.
Oh, I did. Oh, for flip's sake. Thank you. Oh, I did WNS twice. Oh, so this one's all right. Move right. I did wrong the whole time. Yeah, apologies. Okay, so this needs to be A. And this needs to be D. Trying to do UE4 on the Mac right now. My dad won't allow a Windows PC in the house for some stupid reason. Wow. You have some people who are the same about the other way around as well, but yeah, it's a little bit dramatic, isn't it? But apologies. It's okay. You should be able to do stuff on the Mac still. Plenty of developers who work on Macs. They're good for many things. I can't say how everything will work with Unreal, but I think it works fine.
On
you
Mac?
run keyboard S to get keyboard suggestions. I don't think you can. On Mac, yeah. No, you can't if you'd like.
I doubt it.
Anyway, okay, so we've created these inputs. Let's save that. Let's close that. I'm just going to actually go and put the kettle on as well. I don't want to be stressed today, and this stuff is getting a bit annoying. So I want to chill out and make sure we enjoy the stream as well. So I just get a cuppa, and we will carry on with this shortly.
Carry on. You have to be super patient, Mystic.
back.
I'll also grab my phone charger and come back. Okay.
Have a good day, Mystic. Yeah, I'm glad you're excited. There's lots of little stumbling blocks along the way with the UE4. Okay, so we've made this. We just set up the control settings, didn't we? And then we're gonna do some. Okay, this is very similar. We did before. Close project settings and jump to pawn blueprints event graph and plug in the input. Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna go to our pawn. The one thing that he's done differently, right? So he's made a pawn, but when he set up the pawn, he didn't add a floating one. He just made something called a movement component. I don't think he's even added it. Okay, that's fine. So we're gonna jump to the pawn blueprint now. So we're gonna go in here as we were, and it's not too different. So instead, we're gonna just take in our input actions that we've made. So it should be able to find the ones that we made. We made one called jump, for example. Or do we just type in jump? Ah. You okay?
And my Unreal also crashed before I leave.
Oh, great.
Great. We're on track.
How fun. Okay, so here, whenever we get this, we want to make a vector out of get move right. What is the move right here?
So I realized I didn't use the floating pawn moment. My example, remember the fishing game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just wrote everything manually. Set actor location.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna try and follow it from what this person has done, and we'll see how this comes out at the moment.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
So, he did one thing that we haven't done yet. So he's gone ahead and he's made a movement component from scratch as well. Just went new. I'm used to going to CPP classes, not that. There is actor component, isn't it? So it's just blueprint, actor component, and movement component like that. Okay, he hasn't used it yet, but so in the pawn he set it up so it just has a capsule, static mesh, a spring arm, and a camera. So we've got the same thing. I was a skeletal, but other than that, that's fine. You set up the input settings, and once you've set those in, you have access to them via blueprint, like we've just done. So when it's pressed, that's the jump one, and then we also have the move forward. I think I called it move forward event, like so. Isn't there also going to be a move right as well? Grab that in. Yeah, so they're the events that we've just gone ahead and created. Pawn class has add movement input function built in, and it can be used to read player input inside the movement component. So we can, therefore, what we want to call is when we press forward, we want to add a movement input. So this adds to, I imagine, I think there's like a variable that the pawn has, which is the current movement input this frame. And then you can process that with the movement component or something along those lines. So we need to get the value of it and plug it into make a vector. In the X Oh, yeah, okay. So we got to think about this. The movement. We're just going to get one value from this, right? This value is going to be where we are on the x-axis of pressing in between. If it was an analog stick, it'd be between pressing up and down on it, but it's going to be either 1 for W or -1 for S, just on the x-axis, I believe. So we take that. Now he's done something extra, or she has done something extra in here as well, where they've get move right, he's called it, but he hasn't actually gone ahead and done get move right.
It's back online.
Oh, cool. Have they given a time for it? 11 days.
4 to 9. June 4th to 9th.
Well, 5 a.m. on the 10th. I mean, got time on that morning, mate.
7 a.m. for me. Better.
We need to win you that lovely computer, don't we?
Yeah, I definitely need that one.
Easy. I like how you get good things for. I don't know if you get bonus points for like using their systems as well, like the mega scans and stuff. I'm not too sure. Anyway, cool. I'm glad they've given a date for that again. Anyway, right, where was I? So I think he's just made a random variable here. There's a function called getMoveRight. He's called. Is that an actual? Oh yeah. What is this? Oh, this is. Okay, interesting. So you can do getMoveRight, and then that gets you. These gets you have access to them, and so there's a move forward, which will get you the value of that as well. That makes sense. Okay, interesting. So this is the event of when it changes. I think. Don't know. Like why? Yeah, I guess it's rather than having an update, you only want to change the input vector whenever they press something, right? So anytime there's any input on this axis, we want to update the movement input on the pawn, and we make we set it up in this way. I'm sure we'd do right in the same way, so it would be pretty much these things, but it would be get forward instead. Oh my gosh. I missed time forward 4 times. It's fine. Happy, okay? Promise you.
Forward's okay. Better.
And then for the jump one, the person who's done the little tutorial thing has gone ahead and done a. When you press it, we want to add an impulse to the capsule. That's what he's done to add it. So instead of the key, we get hold of our physics capsule, our collision capsule at least, and we add an impulse to it. And we're just going to add X amount here. I need to break this up.
So we need the physics simulation enabled in the capsule.
Oh, so impulses work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then lock the Z, I guess, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Velocity change. So if true, the strength is taken as a change in velocity instead of an impulse. The mass will have no effect. Okay, cool. He has that ticked as well. Okay, so we've got those set up. Let's compile and save those for a sec. We've got an issue with our old one. Get rid of that. Okay, so there we go. We've got these set up. And now open the movement component blueprint that we created. So let's go. That. In begin play. First component needs a reference to the pawn that the component is moving. So we're going to get the owner to do that. Yeah, that's no problem. Get the owner. Since it's attached to it, we can do that. That's no problem. And we want to cast it. it's on the ball.
And reference it, cache
And
it.
then we want to cache it, I think. Yeah, well, we're going to set... we just promote this to a variable, I guess, right? Yeah, and we're going to call this our... I'll call it the same thing as this person has, just to make it the tutorial easier to read and reference. Compile that. Okay, sweet. So save the pawn reference to variable. It will be used later. Yes, it will. Next, the component needs a reference to the pawn collision. So from pawn parent, we're going to go ahead and get the root component from it. So yeah, that makes sense. So we can get root component. Then we're going to promote that to variable as well. I think capsule, collision capsule is what we call it.
Sorry. He used a space in the variable name?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no, maybe he didn't, and it puts it in, doesn't it? I think it detects the letters and puts spaces in for you. Sorry, my bad. He just shows the blueprint, so thank you. It's a good, well worth pointing out. Was it just about to change your respect for the person? That's what I noticed. One thing about Grabbit, his name Grant Abbott. I was watching him work, and then he saved one of his files, and he just put spaces in the file name. I was like, "Oh no, what are you doing? Who does this?" Ah! I have a cup of Earl Grey tea, but hot. Not hot as butt. That is. Sorry, that's
Getting hungry.
You can take your break, dude.
No, Fatima will cook spinach and salmon pasta.
Ah, sounds nice. With any like tomato or some cream or?
Cream and mushrooms.
That sounds good. What about trailing spaces to make all lines equally long? No, what? Who does this? Me at lol. Dude, don't talk these things. Okay, so drag a pin off the parent one, blah, blah, blah. We've gone ahead and do that. Now that all the references are set up, it's time to do some automated configuration required for this component to work properly. So get the blueprint graph, and to keep the blueprint graph clean, add a new function called configure physics. Cool, so we're going to go into our functions. We're going to add a new one. We're going to call it configure physics. Okay, so inside configure physics, we want to do the following. We want to set the component tick group to post physics. Set component tick group. Ooh. Okay. Set tick group. Ah, we got it. We're fine. We want to post physics. Okay. And then we want to set simulated physics. Set simulate physics as this context. Set simulate physics. Is it self going to be fine, or will we have to give it a reference, I wonder? Enable physics simulation for the collision.
I guess we are enabling the physics on the root component. Maybe it will work. I'm not sure.
I guess we've got references to these now, right?
Yeah, but
I think
yeah,
he's just written it out in the primitive component object.
just delete the set simulate physics node and create it again from the collision capsule. What? Maybe this time you need the context on. I don't know. This is stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that we can do it. Have I got it as the right type, I guess?
No, it is this primitive component. Click on the collision capsule. It has the wrong type on it. Because
component.
because
is it because we're not casting it?
Or it's not a, we're not casting it. And are you sure we have the capsule as a root component.
Root component. Well, right now it doesn't know, does it? Because it's...
Yes. Yeah, it's not about the actual problem. Sorry. Yeah, it is actually. Cool. Fine.
Okay. He cast it to it. Yes, that's the bit I missed. He cast it to a capsule component. I did say that, so I'm quite glad actually we would have figured that out. So, like we did to cast the pawn, I skipped that. We know it's a capsule component. We can go ahead and like that. Perfect. Easy. Okay,
Shut
so
up,
now...
Uno.
Sorry, dude?
I was talking to Uno. Sorry.
No problem. Oh, Uno's here. I didn't even see.
Shut up. Already.
Good. That's the normal Uno response we need. Okay, so set physics. Oh my god. Right, maybe we just need to compile it. First, set physics. Oh my gosh. What is it even called? Set physics? No, set simulate. So it's Oh, I think this variable is already set up as a, because we promoted it to variable prior. This is good to see. These are the sort of things that will happen. Let's get rid of that. Let's delete this. All right, let's compile and save. Then we promote this to a variable, which is going to be of a capsule collision. That's what we want. Okay, took a bit of time. Got there, collision capsule.
We are doing fine, Uno. Thank you. And how are you?
Yeah. Myself, Uno, I'm doing fine. It's a bit stressful. We're going into stuff that we don't know how to do, especially. And it's not massively important, but it is at the same time, I feel. So it's one of those where I'm trying to make sure I don't get stressed, because the series is not meant to be that at all. Yeah, we're good otherwise, though. I'm happy to have...
stressed.
Yeah, well, that's you, isn't it? You don't get as stressed as I do. Anyway. Okay, so now we can go into that function as we had before, which is configure physics. Go in here. We can now bring this in.
What is a tick group?
So the tick group is there's on every tick it goes through different batches of ticks.
Yes.
So, and it'll do them based on the different sets. So you do some before the physics are calculated.
Okay, it's just late update in Unity.
Yeah, it's similar. It's very similar.
Something like that, yeah. But like, what are we aiming to do here? Like, when we're jumping, we will configure physics or something.
I think this is just so you move once the physics has been done. My thought was that it's yeah, I don't understand enough to be able to actually give you a competent answer, to be honest with you. But to me, we're not moving with physics. Is my feel here? We're not like adding an impulse to move, because the jump wasn't. It said add impulse, but you could tick a box to say don't treat this as an impulse.
Okay, I'm not sure about that, because like I had character controller in my AI pawns. And I realized they were using physics in some extent. I don't know.
Well, we will, I think, find out as we get further. Turning off the gravity, we're giving it a collision profile name. These are all the sort of one-liners we'd be doing in code on these, right? It's good because we can do this. If this was something that worked, and these are things that we can transfer directly to code, which is nice. There's one called pawn, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's not there. And then set physics material override. So he's made a physics material as well that we haven't made yet. I should go back and do that step. That was the very first thing you did. So
I mean, I wouldn't even do this in code. I'll just change the details.
in like inspector. So yeah. Okay. We want to a new Physics material.
Material.
Okay. Do that. Call this our pawn phys material. This will probably impact the way what it slips along the floor and stuff like that. I remember you did one of these on Joe, didn't you?
Yeah.
In front of Runner. I remember we used to do it in Unity all the time anyway. In 2D games, so you don't get stuck on the tiles and that. Let's go back. An Epic Launcher is still...
It's normal
no.
in Mac. I'd say that.
Have you... Do you mean launchers if... Have you pressed the button to open the... From visual...
Is it a MacBook, by the way?
And yeah, I'm trying to figure out, have you got to the point where you've said, I want to make a new project? Or is it you're loading into an existing project? I've just seen the tech demo of Unreal and I expect the same quality on your project. Yeah, we're there, mate. Here. How many triangles are in this? Oh, many. Many, many, many. Okay, we need to change this a little bit on this material. So we're going to give it 0 friction so we can just slide around. Doesn't let us change this. That's interesting. Override. Why is the override underneath it? Over it. We'll go with it. That's fine. For me, I would imagine it'd be the other way around, but we'll go with it.
Yeah, me too. But in Unreal, I wouldn't question.
Everything is Unreal. Okay. That's the same. That's the same. Excellent. Okay, so you just basically made it. What's the restitution done? I know what friction does. But what about restitution?
No, I don't know. I searched.
It says.
Yeah, it's the bounciness. Yeah, of course.
There we go.
I remember it.
Okay, so we did that. So the reason I wanted to do that is because we were hooking it up, and I want to make sure we follow as the person said. We don't have to always stick it this way. Set the physics material to the one we created earlier. So by here, the physics material of is this going to be of so the capsules has a physics material, does it?
Well, you can set it, yeah.
Okay, and this is where we choose our one we made earlier. Okay. Right, so save. And then add the function at the begin play. We will do that now then. Go back into our actual one. And then we're going to add in our event begin play one more thing, which is going to be calling our configure physics function that we made.
We simply do some initial stuff that we could also do it in the inspector.
Yes.
Okay.
So fixed time step is the next thing. So movement component needs a fixed time step event for the physics calculations. Using fixed execution time keeps the physics calculated independent from frame rate. Oh, this is like the old in Unity. Yes. Using the delta time, I guess, is it? Or was it a
fixed update?
Yes, the fixed update. That's the one. Yes, I remember. I had it in my first game in front of Runner. Do you remember that you could jump different heights based on your frame rate? And sometimes the game was impossible because you couldn't jump on it. Good times. Good times.
Yeah, you either do the physics calculations in fixed update or use delta time in the normal update.
Yeah, I think we're going down that way now. So we're going to create a new float called delta time and set it to be 1/250th. So we're going to go ahead and make a new variable, which is going to be a float. And it's going to be called delta time. Compile it so we get a value to it. And we're going to set that. We could just write it in ourselves. For some reason, he's done it like this. I'm just going to do it.
What?
Look, you'll love this.
It doesn't make any sense to have a... okay, I mean... we should be pulling this from the systems. I don't know. Yeah. Divide by 0.
Yeah, 0 divided by 0. It's the best. Okay, let's set this. And yeah, so he's just gone ahead and said 1 by 250. Yeah, and just say that's what he's done. We're going with it. Okay, so drag the execution pin from the delta time and search for set timer by event. Okay, so we're manually calling an event. That often, I guess, right? So this is going to be called our fixed tick. So we're manually doing a fixed tick. We'd have
This
to create.
shouldn't be the way. It's so weird. Is this a tutorial by a Unity developer or something?
It does feel like it. Let's recreate how Unity does it. Good progress, Mystic. Yeah, restarting it sometimes is the best way to do it.
Most of the time in Unreal, let's say.
Then if it doesn't work once, try it again. Okay, set looping to true. We're going to add a custom event and we can call this fixed tick. Next up, physics. Okay, gravity. So we're going to compile. Add the following variables to the movement component. So we want a vector 3 called velocity. It's going to be vector 3's called velocity. We're making our movement component, really, aren't we? So it does make sense that we're going to have this sort of stuff set up in here. Hey, frontline.
It actually doesn't make sense to use the movement component. I mean, the floating pawn movement component, because we are writing our own.
Yes, I've gotten rid of that. And he isn't using one either, right?
Yeah, okay. I thought we were trying to use that.
Initially, we were. Why is Control W duplicate as well? Anyway.
Yeah. That's the biggest issue I experience when switching back and forth between Unity and Unreal. Like
Really?
Control D and W.
Do they do anything like nasty? Or no? It doesn't do like something bad in, isn't it? It doesn't like delete things. Because Control W like closes a window, I think, doesn't it?
Yes, yes.
So that could be a bit crap. Okay, so we want to get component velocity from the collision capsule using get component velocity. So get component velocity. We need to get this off of the collision capsule. So we're going to get a reference to this. We're going to get component velocity. There it is. Hello, hello, hello. And we're going to use you to, yeah, actually it's a getter, isn't it? That's why there's no execution pin to it. We're going to go ahead and set the velocity based on that.
So we are using actual physics to move.
Does this just get the input velocity off of the movement input? I'm not sure.
No, you just get the velocity of the capsule, the physics.
Yeah.
So,
but if that velocity, yeah, okay. I don't know. I can't think ahead yet, dude. I'll just. There's not too much further to go. New function called apply gravity. Okay, and in here we're going to go ahead and add one input boolean called gravity enabled. Okay, and then we are going to branch off of that. Just a control region. And for this it's true, then we need velocity equal gravity direction times 480 point f times delta f plus velocity. Easy. Oh, we're going to make some literals as well, like before. And we're going to get the gravity direction. Yeah. We're going to multiply it. This, and this is going to be that 9. I've seen that 980 before. That's that value.
I mean, it's the gravity. Gravity is 9.8.
In what unit?
Meters.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I like. I've seen it around. I just don't like that term. Gravity is 9.8. I'm like, what? How do we measure that? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying where I don't so much. You're gonna Google it.
No, I will find the. I find it an article or something. 9.8 meters per second.
Right. What? And something of a set. Is that how much something of a set weight would fall?
Yeah, it's an approximate average acceleration, like on the surface of the Earth. That means like when you free fall, every second you have this 9.8 meters per second thing. But yeah, I don't know the details.
Okay.
I also use this number for my gravity variables, and it looks natural.
Unnatural, did you say?
No, natural.
Oh, it does look natural. Okay. So.
It does look natural, and like probably game engines set some default values to go along with that number.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It seems more smart. Okay. We've done that function. And then we want to call it in our event that we are calling on every so often. So we, by here, set the velocity here, and then we're going to call the function we just made, which is apply gravity. And then we should probably tick gravity is enabled here. Guess that's something that we would tick on our pawn, probably. Might be nicer that way. Suppose that out, save it and have it on by default. Okay. Right. Okay, and then the movement velocity is the next bit. Okay, create new functions called movement velocity. A new function called movement velocity. I'm guessing we're still in the movement component here, so let's go ahead and new function movement velocity. Okay, and we're adding 2 inputs for this, which we're probably going to be taking in from those vectors that we have in the main event graph. So let's add 2 inputs of type float. Oh, actually, no, it's not. My bad. It's going to be max speed. And I like it in a way that, like, what you like, Brain, about doing stuff yourself is that you don't get all that other bloat with something that you don't know what it does.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, I just might as well use my own instead of using one of those they've already made that I don't see the point of.
But still, this implementation feels like an overkill for what we're trying to do.
Yeah, it may do. It may do. What I'm hoping from it is that it helps me understand how you can actually move a pawn. What we actually, because I know that there's a movement vector, and then there's something called consume input, and then I know that other times people add impulse to things, and it's done in. I don't know the right way things are done. I guess through stripping out the automation of it, it gives you a bit more of a look at how it can be done. Whether it's the right way is another thing.
I'd also want you to try something that doesn't involve physics.
Yeah, yeah. I'm game for doing it. I'm game for doing it, to be honest, man.
Yeah. Also, this is interesting.
Yeah. Okay, good. I just don't see it as a waste.
The configure physics part was a little bit of waste.
Una Maestro, why would you say such a foul thing about our beautiful Bora, by the way?
Because, like, you asked, was it ending up doing nasty things? But you mean Unity controls up.
Yes. Bora doesn't do nasty. Okay, so from here, we're going to go and do a bunch of maths, which is going to be interesting. So upper side adds speed, lower side adds drag, multiplied by the delta time and accumulated to a velocity. Projecting velocity to gravity direction causes drag to be applied only in lateral axes, leaving fall speed uncapped. For a 6 DOF movement, don't project the... I don't know what's a 6 DOF? Directions of freedom? Yeah. Is it? I think it is, isn't it? 6 isn't that... I guess if it's you going to... I don't know.
No, should I Google it?
I swear I've heard a DOF before. Hey, Alona Wolf. Hi. A beautiful brain. Okay. You're still working on your... Oh, go on, dude. Degrees of freedom. There we go. We're almost there. All right, let's just get this formula out, shall we? So we're going to get our input. We're going to multiply it by a float, which is this. And then we are going to multiply it by the max speed. No, sorry, we're going to multiply it by the acceleration. No, let's do multiply it from here so we get the right ones. Vector by float. Vector space. And then we're going to subtract away some drag. So the drag is done. The project vector onto plane. I'm not going to ask that.
Yeah, wait, why are we multiplying with max speed? That's...
I think it's max speed is just speed is what I'm feeling here.
Okay.
There's no other speed, only max speed. But maybe there's a bit of a ramp up. I don't know. We'll find out.
There can be only one.
One speed for them all. And we want to get the E. And we want to multiply this by the acceleration as well. Okay. And then we subtract. So you're basically working out the speed, but then you're working out how much your actual, how much I think the weight of gravity on you would impact it. Think. Vector maths. Maths with an F is the best type of maths. And then we're taking our delta time, which is our 1/250th, and we're timesing it. But we are going to do it from this way to get vector times float.
What input are we feeding into project vector onto a plane?
The direction and our current velocity. So I think this is how you're going to have a ramp up of speed. Maybe. Like the drag. So based on if you're not moving too fast and the gravity, I'm guessing what this kind of does. I don't know though.
No, I guess. I don't know.
How dare you not know?
I mean, I have some guesses. But
Like guesses? I can read out the summary. You want.
So the gravity direction is like, let's say it is -1, z -1, right?
Right.
And so, and 0 0 0 0 -1.
Mm-hmm.
So that is our normal. Can you scroll to left a little bit? So that is our plane normal, and we are projecting our velocity on that plane normal, and it returns a vector to us. So I don't know.
I don't know the result of a vector projection or whatever. That thing. But the important thing is we're setting the velocity. There we go. That. Easy. Let's save quickly before it crashes. So when it says,
oh sorry.
so I'm using Bluetooth headphones, dude. So there's sometimes like almost a half a second, or there's constantly a bit of a delay. So if I talk over you, it's not intentional. So it says the upper side of this adds the speed. So this bit, right?
That's obvious.
Mm-hmm. So acceleration. And then the bottom bit down here adds the drag. Multiplied by delta time and accumulated velocity. And then it says projecting velocity to gravity direction causes drag to be applied only in a lateral axis, leaving fall speed uncapped.
Yeah, okay.
And you don't have, if you wanted it to, if you want to be able to move up and down without gravity pulling you down, you just skip that. It says you don't project the velocity. You just feed it, and I don't know. Yeah. Okay, last part of the fixed tick is passing the calculated velocity to the collision capsule using set all physics linear velocity. Isn't that what you've used before? Is that in code? Did you use that? The name of it seems familiar, but I might be wrong.
What name?
It was called set all physics linear velocity.
Yes, I always use that to move it.
Good. So they're using that same function, which is a positive.
We weren't correct.
Yeah, no, but it is nice to know sometimes, isn't it? Okay, I'm trying to get to the main event graph. Within here, apply gravity. Hang on. This function after apply gravity. Yeah. So this function was called movement velocity. Okay. Now our values have gone in as default. And then the final thing we're doing with this is we're going to be setting all. Come on, Dan, you can type, can't you? Oh, I need to. It's going to be contextual to the capsule. Yeah. Okay. Grab that. Plug those together, and we're going to just be using the velocity that we set in order to get that to pop in.
Ta-da!
Okay. So the end result should look like this. So we should have capsule that goes into the get component velocity. We set the velocity. We then apply gravity. Don't think he has gravity ticked point, so we're going to get rid of that for now. Then there's 500 and to that, and then we set them at the end. Great. So now we're looking at getting the input. Okay, so in tick event, drag parent pawn reference and click on convert it to get validated get. Oh, I think I know what he means. Okay, so we are going back to the main event graph. I deleted event tick because I was impatient earlier. I don't like the mess when you join. And it has because it has the comments out of it saying this it's called on every tick.
Yeah.
Okay. So it says to get the parent pawn, but you can do something. Right click. So if we do a get first, but then you can right click it.
And delete.
Validated get. That's the one. So this just does a, instead of you having to do, is it equal to? It's a nice cleaner way to do it.
Yeah.
I like it. So then we want to do, yes, the consuming. I knew the consuming comes in. Because this helps us understand what's, he's basically showing us what happens in the main kind of controllers, I think, but just without extra fluff. Again, it may not be perfect, but still for me, I feel it's therapeutic, all right? And then we're going to be setting this input. So we might as well just set here. And
yeah,
we are going to normalize the input. Tolerance.
the tolerance, yeah.
Is there one without that, or is that the only one?
Yeah, I used the one that has tolerance and it worked fine.
Okay. Hide it.
You.
It makes me uncomfortable.
You are serious.
Look. Fine. Okay, so use normalize and set it to input variable. Okay, good. So last step will be setting the pawn rotation. Stop it. Stop. The last step will be setting the pawn rotation. Since the capsule is simulating physics, it could freely rotate around when velocity is applied to it. To prevent this, the rotation has to be manually set on each frame. However, if you were to make a hamster ball game, for example, you could easily skip this step, get some realistic rotation based on the surface friction. After setting input variable, drag the collision capsule reference and pull off a pin from it, search for set world rotation and add that to the execution line. Okay, so we're going to keep the rotation as it is, it seems. After we set the input, we get our collision. And we're going to set the world rotation of this. And that is it. The last thing to do is to add the movement component to the custom pawn. So here, I made a move. I was overreacting. Okay. If you have game mode set up to use your custom pawn, you can now hit play to test it out. Okay. Part of me feels... Oh, it finds the reference, doesn't it? That's why these are empty at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Bonus. Oh, there's bonuses. There's one page of bonus.
No.
To orient your pawn rotation to movement, add the following set world rotation value. Okay, so back where we were in the movement component, we're gonna... New rotation is going to be set to be something a bit different. I'm going to enjoy this.
I'll try to enjoy it.
Yes. It's the spirit.
I hate these make rotation from values nodes. Like, so instead of these, we use transform, setting transform forward, right, and up in Unity.
Oh, right. Okay. But was it...
In Unreal, you don't set transform forward. You can only get it.
Right.
Doesn't make sense.
In Unity, was that, or in Unreal?
No, in Unity you cannot set
Right.
the forward. Only get it. Get it.
Get it. We are gonna be adding these together. Oh. Adding these together.
Try again. Adding this together.
Like the cross. Okay. And then we get the gravity direction. And we're gonna negate it.
No.
And we're gonna negate this. No, we're gonna normalize this, sorry. Oh gosh, the tolerance is coming, isn't it?
All right.
And we make a rotation from it. Okay, so what is going on here? So we get in the way that it's facing. We're adding that vector to velocity.
So our vector looks a little bit downish.
Right. Oh, so just to turn it a little bit, yeah?
Yeah, it's just yeah.
Okay, and then we then add a normalization of that vector.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because a rotation is just a normalized thing. We don't want to give any values of more than one, right? Okay.
Yes.
And then by here, we negate the gravity. So this bit, gravity direction. I don't even know where we set this. We put in gravity direction as a value anywhere, or do we just use it? Yeah, I don't think we actually have written it in anywhere.
So where'd you set the 980 thing?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. I remember I thought I wrote 980 somewhere here.
That's weird.
Gravity direction times.
You should be setting the direction, yeah. So
Yeah,
in
to
the
this one.
tutorial, you
Well,
didn't see it.
No, let's have a look.
Check if it's setting the default value or not.
Oh yeah, set default value. It says it in sneaky little brackets. Oh. Right here. I didn't see that. Curse you! Okay, that makes more sense. So the default value is going to be the -1 in the z-axis. Gravity or z, whichever way you want to say it. I don't care. Fantastic. Okay, so that means that, yeah, our gravity is -980, right? That's fine.
Let's go back to the...
So, yeah, if we go back into the main... oh, where is it? I know what I've done. I know. I hate this. There. So if you click on them, it doesn't go to the tab where you have it open. It just changes your current tab to where it... Yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Okay, so we were looking at the rotation here, right? So when we negate it, that puts it as a positive then, right?
Yeah, we get the up vector of our player or character, I guess.
By here we're looking to negate it. So that's 980 plus, is it? No, there's just the direction. Sorry, it's not the actual 980. So that's 1. So in the Z, it's 1. So it just basically opposes it to the way that your gravity is going.
Yes.
By the looks of it.
So,
okay.
Like I said, it just points the transform up vector of our character. Right?
Yeah. It stops us from falling or leaning.
Okay. So it creates another vector, taking the up vector and the what vector? The forward vector.
Yeah. and then sets that to be our rotation every frame or every update. Okay, that's fine. Well, we've now added it to this component at least. Don't think we have to set any of this up because it does it all in the begin play, to my understanding. We did have a new game mode. This game mode, do I set the pawn class? Yes, it's already done. And did the project settings remember that we're using that different mode? Yes, we are. New game mode is a great name for a game mode, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we start. Can we move? Yes, we can. So it's flicking because we're instantly going to that direction. There's no like midway. You can do kind of both at once though. It's because the camera's attached to it when you instantly change direction. But if we, for example, then if we wanted to change our blueprint to make the camera set, I guess how you'd make it just not attached. Oh, how did he do it then? Actually, he set up his. Oh, he did it. No, he's got it exactly the same. Interesting. I guess it depends whether you want a fixed camera that follows it around or not. You can't really not have it as part of it. Wondering how you would stop it rotating with it.
Can you increase the arm length and position it and rotate the spring arm a little bit too?
Yeah, sure, no problem. The okay.
And what happens? Let's. So there's a camera settings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, I wasn't looking. And in the camera settings, no, in the spring arms camera settings. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So,
yeah, down here.
let's not inherit any of the axes. No, not the camera settings. Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
So what happens if we don't inherit them?
Yeah, interesting. Ooh, I mean,
You understand?
kind
So
of.
it doesn't. Yeah, but
It's
sometimes
still.
it does.
Yeah, there's something definitely a bit trippy going on with. I'm guessing it's. No, I don't know why. Seems AAA though. Oh gosh, I jumped. There's no stopping me now. There he goes. He's taken off. Farewell.
I guess the number you were looking for was 9.8.
But I mean,
I
I haven't enabled gravity.
Yeah.
So if we go on this, we tick that. Let's see what happens. Yeah, there we go.
It's fine, yeah. It's natural.
So
Almost.
it's the camera thing I don't like.
Yeah. Let's inherit them again.
Yeah, so if we just fix that up quickly, then this is fine for a basic blueprint one.
Maybe also there's another setting in the camera as well. I don't know.
Or use pawn control rotation.
Yeah, I use that rotation for. Let's see, if we're doing an FPS and we're using the mouse.
Ah, yes. Yeah. Isn't that the controller you take the rotation? I know there's a few ways you can do rotation then. A common way is that it takes the rotation from the controller, because when you move around, you're actually facing the direction of the controller. It's a bit of a weird one. Okay, how is
Also,
anything?
camera has use pawn control rotation in camera options.
You said the camera has used. Yes.
Pawn control rotation.
But it's not on anyway, is it? So I feel it.
Yeah, just enable and disable and test. It needs some trial and error, right?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Well, this is what it was used to be. It's used to be, right?
Yeah,
In the first place.
Where it snaps around really quick. But what's weird though is it rotates nicely if you're just. Sorry, it rotates. Is it slightly moving? It is. I'm slipping on the floor. I forgot I'm quite slippery, aren't I? That's probably why it's moving a little bit.
So maybe there is a threshold?
Yes, there must be, because if you're taking smaller angles, it seems to do it fine.
Oh, actually, I have an idea. Can you go to... stop it. In the spring arm, disable do collision test. And try it like that, because the collision test is when the camera hits something. It still that. Wait, what?
Yeah, it's the same.
It is, right?
Have I done my controls wrong as well? I can't tell if I've done my controls wrong. I don't think I have. It's really hard to know when it all looks the same. That's right, that goes back, yeah. And if I go W, that's going to take me up. And S should take me down. Okay.
Google.
Okay, Google. How do I stop my camera from following my porn too viciously?
I typed Unreal Spring Arm Lerp.
That's a better search, isn't it? I'm just going to have a look through some of these settings.
I think there are some variables that you can change. Doesn't explain entirely, but I'm pretty sure we're missing some. So target offset and socket offset.
Yeah.
What are those?
They're all zeros at the moment.
Yeah, that also doesn't help. Do you have any variable called like camera lag in camera?
Lag. Enable camera lag. Lag speed.
Yeah.
Controls how quickly a camera reaches its position.
Prayer.
Low values are slower. Higher values are fast. 0 is instant. Okay, so let's try that. Oh, rotation lag as well. Maybe I need to... Rotation lag is really what we're interested in here.
Yeah, but is it getting overwritten by the... I don't know.
The update thing you're thinking of?
Because it was already lagging. Okay, this looks smoother.
Yeah.
But...
What's really weird about it is we have set... We don't actually... Forward doesn't make me go forward. This is just like a set camera controls. So this would be good if you had a set camera that didn't follow the pawn around. Because for me, like, W does the same thing every time on this, you know?
Yeah, okay, we should have a separate camera maybe. And...
Yeah.
make it rotate manually.
Yeah. Okay. How do you? Will it just use a camera in the scene if there's not one on it?
I can teach you real quick.
Okay. Is there a way to just disable it without deleting it? Because the thing is, we could change the controller to work the other way. But okay, I guess right now it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, I don't know how the camera will follow you around anyways. I mean, probably they have a follow component or something, but
Okay.
you can. I don't know how to
Yeah.
disable it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I guess it's
I
not
know
that much
what you
work.
mean.
Let's just delete it. What was the default behavior now? Oh,
It
first
creates a
person?
camera.
Okay. Right, so if we add a camera in
Yep.
using the modes, very bad at recognizing name earlier. Camera. Okay. Gosh, super fun.
We can even do like add a spring. No, that's a component, right? Okay. I thought maybe we should place the camera in an actor again.
Oh, how so?
So we reposition the actor and rotate the actor instead of the camera to keep the offset that we set in the scene. The offset.
Right. I see what you mean. We need
Okay,
to still.
but I can teach you how to set the camera as a.
Yeah. Would this be in the level blueprint?
Yeah. So this is stupid, but no, set blend. What?
Oh, this stuff.
And it won't show up there. You have to open the. No, is it? Yeah, either no context sensitive. View blend. Yeah.
Oh, I remember. It feels like it's not the right way to do it, doesn't it?
Cache the camera.
So we gotta get it from. I need to do the selected thing. So if we select it, and then we go add. Oh no, hang on.
I just add a
Select it.
Okay.
Hang on, there's a way to do it. I think I've forgotten how to do it. You can add in the thing that you have.
That.
Alicia is mocking me along with you. 0.001s. Do that.
Thank you, Alicia.
No.
Just do it the traditional way.
The traditional way, which is
create a variable. And the variable type is camera. Object reference. Just type camera.
Oh.
Camera actor. Object reference. And then compile. Then we can set the default one. Yeah. Default value. On the right. And so, yeah.
Okay. Right. That's how you do it. Okay, so we can drag that in.
Yeah.
It's not a play controller, so we need to get the play controller as well.
Yeah, get player controller and bind it to target.
Oh yeah, yeah, we don't need.
So So you're changing the view target of the player controller, which is also another stupid thing in Unreal, but it doesn't make sense at all.
Okay, so we're going to get the play controller for the target. Fine. Okay. So this, you believe, will change it to that camera, right?
This should work.
Go. So now that feels fine to control.
Yeah.
Because like before it was so horrible because like W was is misleading. But I mean this could be fine just to see the animations anyway. Could zoom out a little bit, but so how can I move it on the normal of that camera? Is there a up here, isn't it? Yeah. Do remember some things. Not much. Some. Okay. Sweet. So now we have a character. Where's the thing that puts the focus in the mouse in the game when you start the game? It agitates me so much, that thing. You press start game and then you have to click on it. It's going to be in settings.
I never figured that out.
Focus. Level editor. I have found it before.
It is not the time.
I do have a social event this evening, so we can't be going too much longer, and we have been going on quite a while already. So, it's a friend's birthday.
You're invited to a Ramadan party.
No. Oh, that sounds more fun. Let's do that. Game gets mouse control. That's what you want. Did you see it, Brian?
As game gets mouse